Alright, so we got a lot of things to go over before this video starts. BTS are Rockstars from Boracity. First of all, thank you for the recommendation. You caught my attention when it came to rock, metal, whatever it may be on that side of things. So I'm all here for it. Second of all, let's go ahead and start the video.
Just a quick disclaimer, if you're a rock fan or metalhead, I know how this community can be, so just don't be pretentious. Be open-minded and nice. If you're an ARMY but don't like hard rock or any kind of metal music with screams and loud instruments, I know you're going to be respectful. Just remember that these genres are not always pretty, and I know you're going to be
Don't like screams. I'm an unclean vocalist. Screams are my forte.
Respectful. Just remember that these genres are not always pretty, and the music videos and live performances I will show can be a little disturbing. Also, please don't take my comparisons too seriously. This video is based mainly on my opinion.
I will take them as seriously as possible.
I love rock music. Actually, my favorite music genres are rock, metal, and their subgenres. But my favorite artist is actually BTS. This may be surprising because BTS music catalog includes a lot of music genres, but they don't do a lot of hard rock. They do have songs with rock elements.
I still need to get into that one. I'm gonna remember that. Is that an RM Jimin duo? Dude, I am so pissed. It's all these songs I've never even heard. like things like Fake Love. I've seen, you know, obviously on other tubers' thumbnails just scattered across the internet, but I've never gotten to it myself. So it's like, dang. You think you've gotten through so much solos and groups songs, and you're like 1,000 songs in and you haven't even scratched the surface, and you're like, wait, hold up, is my mathing right now? And you're like, nah, it's just BTS. It happens. I don't know, man. Oh, we already know about my guy. Tomorrow. I believe I loved you once. For me once, and for me twice. Burn it till it's all gone. Yeah, burn it. Run.
But these songs were not the ones that made me an ARMY. Actually, the song that first got my attention was the disco funk bubblegum pop anthem Boy With Love. To be more specific, I got interested in BTS after watching the live performance of Boy With Love at M Countdown.
That's surprising.
At first, I didn't really understand why this.
I always assumed well, her start would come from like hearing like a solo song or something, and then she got into the group. That was just, I don't know. She just strikes me as I heard a solo first. Guess not.
To be more specific, I got interested in BTS after watching the live performance of Boy With Love at M Countdown. At first, I didn't really understand why this specific performance got my attention. I didn't understand why BTS got my attention. What I'm about to say are just dumb stereotypes. But how can a performance of 7 men dressed in pink doing a choreography to a very poppy pop song be cool to a rock audience? Why did this make me a fan? It made no sense. But after years of learning more and more about the group and interacting with the fandom, I realized that it makes a lot of sense. And
by all means, if you hate pauses, beware the rest of the video. Oh wait, I know this image. This is the Linkin Park. I did a video on this. We both jammed out. Hell yeah. My first song from them was Mic Drop. What got me, it was less of, hey, this song is really good, or, oh my god, I'm blown away. It was more of a curiosity that made me, okay, like, who are these guys? It was that sense of brotherhood I thought I felt from them in the song Mic Drop. That sort of made me want to dive a little bit more into it. You know, it kind of sealed the deal when people found out it was a metalhead and they're like, hey, do you know who Suga is? And then honestly, you get to like Todd, and the game's over. You're just caught. You're caught.
That I'm not the only one. There are many armies who consider rock music their favorite genre, but they are still fans of BTS. This is I've realized that it makes a lot of sense, and that I'm not the only one. There are many armies who consider rock music.
John Reeves, my guy. I need to make a video on that too. I really do want to, about my time at BoracCon earlier this year. I was on a reaction panel talking to the audience with this man here, John Reeves. Such a cool guy, dude.
Their favorite genre, but they are still fans of BTS. This is just my opinion, but I think this is because BTS gives so many rockstar vibes without necessarily having the conventional rockstar music. Despite seeing rock fans and metalheads reject them at first, just like I did, I now notice that BTS keep attracting this community. Here's why I think this happens. I love watching rock concerts and performances because they are insane. No matter what they're singing, you can expect a lot of energy, live vocals, and a real passion for performing. To be more specific, I see that both BTS and my favorite rock bands get into character. They feel the music so much that they forget about everything else. They are determined to put on a show. They perform like it's their last. Also, whether they like to admit it or not, there is a lot of thought in those concert outfits. If it's not masks, it's extravagant outfits or crazy makeup.
Oh, sorry, I gotta stop it. Bruh, she said you have to get into it so much that nothing else exists. And I tried to pay attention after that, but the smile was just growing on my face because I couldn't stop playing out the scene in my head of those moments and the feelings that you get when you quite literally forget your surroundings exist. It's just you and the music. Oh my god, dude. Alright, calm down, Bora. You're about to get me hyped. Calm down now.
Much that they forget about everything else. They are determined to put on a show. They perform like it's their last. Also, whether they like to admit it or not, there is a lot of thought in those concert outfits. If it's not masks, it's extravagant outfits or crazy makeup or unique hair colors or something different. The same way, there's thought to BTS's outfits and stages. There is a theme and a different aesthetic every time. In pop music, this is hard to find with male singers. Female singers and rappers are usually the ones who care about looking good on stage, as well as rehearsing to give a performance worth watching, because people are paying to see them. But I don't always see the same energy from male singers. Male pop singers usually go on stage with an outfit you can wear to the supermarket and occasionally bring out a guitar. I'm not saying that this is bad, but it's not exactly what rock fans and armies are looking for. Powerful energy, practice, and some thought to the presentation of the performance matter to most successful rock bands and BTS. BTS. And the size or importance of the stage doesn't matter. Whether they are at a small venue or a huge concert, they give their everything. I see a lot of people saying that they don't understand how BTS can dance those difficult choreographies in sync while singing live and changing formations all the time, to the extent that they make it seem easy, like they were born with all this talent, when in reality there were hundreds of hours of practice. The same way a rock band can have the illusion that they are careless, they are punk, they don't need practice, they don't care about anything.
Hamburg! Hamburg! Over the fuck? Fucking park!
Fucking everywhere, I don't fucking know.
But to make all of the instruments and live vocals sound good, as well as having a good presence on stage that feels like one cohesive group, they had to have a lot of practice. Both BTS and rock bands care about being impactful and giving an impression. And to do this in the most honest way, they do it through live performances, because anyone can fool the audience with an amazing music video. But to prove that they are good performers, they put a lot of thought and hours of practice to their live performances. I don't know if this happens with other people, but I genuinely think that some live versions of BTS songs and my favorite rock and metal songs are better live than in the studio, because it may sound less perfect, but it can feel more real and interesting.
Baby, come on, come on, show me what you got. You sexy girl, 나한테 그게 중요해. 이상형 충전, 우리 결혼해. Baby, come on, come on, show me what you got. You sexy girl, 나한테 그게 중요해. 내 이상형 충전, 우리 결혼해. Get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready. 앞으로 더. Go get it, go get it, go get it, go get it, go get it. 달리자 word. Get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready. 앞으로 더. Go get it, go get it, go get it, go get it, go get it. 달리자 word.
My point is that both BTS and rock bands have extreme, complicated, well-rehearsed, passionate, impactful performances. Being boring is not an option, and you can see it on the audience's response.
That was like a show that I've never seen in my life. I've been to so many concerts, I have seen festivals, I have seen
this dude is
massive
everywhere.
Productions, but that dwarfs every other show I've ever seen in my life. I don't even know how to compare that to anything I've ever seen.
One of these days, I'm gonna help John Reeves and I'll be like, yo, metal vocalist, we have to make something.
Every other show I've ever seen in my life. I don't even know how to compare that to anything I've ever seen.
I know that some people may say, well, extreme, well-rehearsed performances are common in all of K-pop, and that is true. I'm going to ignore those groups we all know are very lazy and don't like to perform. I'm going to ignore that lip-syncing or singing with loud, pre-recorded vocals are extremely common in K-pop. With all of that out of the way, it's known that K-pop groups in general practice a lot for their performance.
Obviously, no hate, just curiosity, my natural state. If you feel compelled to name some of these groups, not that I'm gonna avoid them or anything. I still might hit them up and like a song or two. Who knows? Shit could be fire. Just so I can be like, okay. Kind of hearing the info without a group behind it. I don't know by image.
But the reason why I care about BTS specifically is because there is a very heavy personal identity the members have with their music. To be more specific, they identify themselves with their lyrics. This may sound like an obvious thing, but let me explain why I found this surprising. There is this popular topic in K-pop regarding noise music. This is usually music that is out of the ordinary and that sounds very extreme. It's usually EDM and dubstep, but it's considered experimental. The first description may attract listeners like me because I love listening to people scream with a bunch of instruments being loudly played in the background. But K-pop's noise music is seen in a negative light because it's loud and too much without any reason to be. On the other hand, I feel like rock and metal are emotions coming to life. The songs are intense because feelings are intense.
Stop you there, Bora. Listen, part of my evolution in music is getting into Linkin Park, the very first non-rap group that I paid attention to. After getting into them, it's like, hey, when you practice your vocals, do it to the official audio. It's heavily produced. It sounds so good. Therefore, your vocals live will become better and better and better. Always be better live than you are on official audio. You don't have to be, obviously, but that's my upbringing in the vocal scene. And then when it comes to what she's saying about the emotions and whatnot, Lacey Sturm from Flyleaf, She was asked in an interview, it was so many years ago, I was so young, why do you scream and whatnot? So she says, hey, I do these sorts of vocals, you know, I'll use like rasp when I'm feeling these emotions, or when I feel like IRL, like in real life, stop or get away from me, stuff like that. If I need to scream it in real life, then I will scream it in the song, or I will write it, you know, to be screamed. It's quite literally a reflection of herself. She feels she needs to go low or sing high, blah, blah, blah. It's because she'll talk low or she'll talk high or she'll scream or her IRL self just really just flips and falls on paper. And that's how I do my own songs as well.
Extreme songs have a purpose and a meaning, and you can more easily recognize what the song wants to say by reading the lyrics. And yes, I'm saying reading the lyrics because even though most rock fans listen to rock music in their language, sometimes these intense genres have unintelligible lyrics.
Green Day? Yeah, like, who was it? It was the song We're Going Down by Fall Out Boy. Famous for everyone that loved the song not knowing what it said. We're going down, down, na 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 na. If you guys know what I mean, then you know what I mean.
English is not my first language, so I was always open to foreign music. This is why I consider reading lyrics part of the listening experience. Sometimes you may even understand what the singers are saying, but reading the lyrics of a song makes you concentrate exactly on the message and your interpretation of it. I'm not saying that it's always like this, but the rock songs I happen to listen to have amazing lyrics most of the time, and the live performances are those lyrics coming to life. The same way BTS's music has 7 unique songwriting styles that work cohesively and that feel authentic and natural on stage. Different artists can practice their performances, but they won't truly connect with the audience if lyrics don't matter. You can do the most complicated choreography the world has ever seen, but if the song and lyrics are not there, music fans that care for some kind of connection and real emotion won't be satisfied by your magic tricks on stage. BTS cares about their lyrics and correctly interpreting those lyrics on stage. We know that RM is the literal definition of a poet. Suga has been writing for himself and others way before being in BTS. J-Hope quickly became one of the most respected songwriters in South Korea, and the vocal line, Jin, Jimin, V, and Jungkook learned how to write music fast because they care about bringing a meaningful message to the group and correctly interpreting this message in their live performances. For all of them, lyrics matter because lyrics are emotions and stories and messages.
Personally, huge connection with the theme and the lyrics that they're talking about. It made me think of the first song that we wrote together.
BTS is kind of like in a area of genre where I wouldn't really mess around in, but something about the way that they write and the way that they make their lyrics flow and everything like that just keeps me really hooked in, which doesn't happen a lot with like a hip-hop or like poppy side, you know?
Yeah.
Really intrigues me. They're great songwriters, and the fact that they're making me just want to slam this song out 50,000 times in a row is impressive.
The vocal line for me, I was like, you know, it seems like it's going to be more poppy, and I'm not really into pop music very much, so that was the thing that I was nervous about. But then whenever I heard Epiphany, I was like, damn, pop music can actually carry a very deep message and something that I needed to hear at the time. And so like that was a changing moment for me being a fan of theirs.
The BTS members write about themselves and their perceptions of the world. This is why their albums always reflected the stage of life they were going through. During their school years, they wrote about school. When they entered adulthood, they wrote about youth. If they live something, they write about it. Their songs usually have an easy and relatable message that doesn't require much thought, as well as a deeper, complicated meaning that requires some analysis. This is why so many armies, including rock fans, take the extra step of reading lyrics by a translator who gives context. Because I'm not joking when I say that this can be multi-layered poems with tons of wordplay that need interpretation and references about books, movies, traditions.
God, I love that she said that, dude. Music is a reflection of self. If you're not putting yourself in your music, then like whose journey are you writing about? Who? And again, that could be an entire video talking about barriers or where the line is drawn and with lyric writing and music production, and it gets crazy.
Movements and different events that happen in South Korea and the world. This is how their music became some kind of social commentary. Just like with rock music, BTS has the occasional love song here and there, but most of their music has some kind of social commentary. Whatever the social or political message is, this is extremely common in rock and metal music.
You see a politician and you start to pull your hair.
Oh, they're pretty reckless. I haven't heard them in forever.
You think they fucking care.
The same way BTS debuted.
One of my first vocal covers was from Bring Me the Horizon here. It was their song Chelsea Smile, I do believe.
No peaceful revolution.
The same way BTS debuted with the mission of sharing social messages. And although some people say that BTS doesn't care about social commentary or impactful lyricism anymore, that is completely false and shows how a big part of the general public and K-pop fans don't read lyrics by themselves. They just repeat what others are saying. In every single album, from their first one to their most recent one, they have dealt with topics related to psychology, philosophy, politics, and society. BTS's rebellious lyrics were one of the main reasons why a group from a very small label with zero industry support got the attention of many. This type of success story is also common in rock music, because the mainstream music industry doesn't pay as much attention to rock bands as they do with pop solo acts. So BTS's first trilogy of albums, known as the School Trilogy, attracted a lot of rebellious students and young people, since the songs were about many topics related to school life, as well as criticism on the education system and expectations society enforces on adolescents. As the years passed, BTS started incorporating psychological concepts to their songs, attracting listeners who look for music that talk about mental health problems. And again, this is also very common in rock music. The same way BTS has written about depression, anxiety, grief, loneliness, pain, and insecurities. While continuing the conversation of mental health issues, BTS amplified their social commentary on the education system to larger systems like society, consumerism, toxic masculinity, social differences, and injustices.
They tackle a lot. Now I do wonder if the members, or even as a group, intentionally target some of these subjects, or since they have a lot going on in their life, whatever they rap about or sing about just kind of falls under that category, so then we see it as such. Or again, if they're just like, hey, I want to tackle this, or I want to target this specific subject, and then they just write to that. That's the starting point. step one for them.
All we got is mad teachers and some visible classes, divided spaces and forever lasting stresses. More than a gun, more than another tip with your tongue just glitter. We got sort of the shit. I know. You need sort of ocean. I know. We got that raging. When I talk that raging. 그나마 죽이는 게 아니야. 동방이 계속해 우리야. 우강에 캐진 저 사람들 분요 무과신 너네 침이야.
And of course, songs like Change and Equal Sign may be obvious with their message, but even the most catchy songs with colorful and happy performances may have some kind of social message too. For example, the execution of Go Go is, in my opinion, one of the most rock and roll heavy metal songs I've ever heard. In the live performances, they laugh in your face. They basically do a choreography full of dance trends at the time while wearing expensive trendy outfits. The chorus is extremely catchy with a lot of popular phrases that young people like to repeat. But what they're singing is a protest on consumeristic materialism, and what they're doing is making fun of careless spending, especially when young people spend all their money on useless trends just to fit in. Even Boy With Love, that song that got me into BTS, was commentary on themselves from the past. Boy With Love is some kind of growth from their previous single, Boy In Love. The extreme pink and bubblegum pop work as a response to toxic masculinity and gender roles. They sing that someone's true strength doesn't come from big luxury. It comes from finding joy in the smallest things in life. At the same time, this feminine and even glamorous aesthetic complements the psychological idea of a persona, which they explore on their album chapters Map of the Soul based on Jungian psychology. Just like this, BTS implements psychological concepts, classical fiction, and social movements in every single album. Finally, I think of BTS as rockstars because they created a fandom with a strong sense of community. While the rock and metal scenes have served as the vehicle for multiple subcultures, such as the goth, punk, and emo subcultures, BTS has created a significant shift in fandom culture. Just like with rock and metal genres, BTS's socially conscious music has inspired their fandom army to work more as a movement than a fandom. Of course, the sense of being part of something bigger, along with other people who enjoy the same thing as you, creates a strong community. But ARMY also bond over their mission of breaking the fangirl stereotype by paying attention to social issues and taking action. I already made a video explaining how ARMY's unique story has changed fandom culture. But
I was about to say, that's why it's like way early on in my journey, just from comments, you know, from video to video, I was like, damn, this fan group is a unit. You know, this. You don't really know the details, but you just feel something's a little bit different than usual. But that's where I was. I was like, something's a little bit different here.
In general, it has to do with the way ARMY normalized within the fandom privacy, respect, security, and generosity. If you are skeptical of what I'm saying, please watch the video. The BTS ARMY is some kind of movement in pop culture. If there's a social issue, ARMY organizes themselves to follow BTS's steps. If it becomes public that BTS donated to a certain organization, ARMY matches their donation. If BTS cancels their tour because of the COVID pandemic, ARMY donates their ticket refunds to pandemic relief organizations. If BTS tickets get sold out faster than ever, ARMY donates their ticket money to organizations helping the victims of a current disaster. Charity and different initiatives happen all the time in the ARMY community. I'm not saying that extreme performances, lyrics that matter, or social commentary are exclusive to rock music and BTS. Of course, some of these factors are also common in other genres. But my point in making this video is that I, as a rock fan, got interested in BTS and became a fan, something I never thought would happen. The same way, fans of many other genres got interested in BTS and became fans because the BTS members are extremely versatile artists. So while I see them as rock stars, fans of other genres genres may associate BTS with characteristic traits of their favorite music genre. Their rock characteristics are my favorite and what I appreciate the most in them. But a hip-hop fan may think that their deep appreciation and ability at rap is what makes them special. A fan of pop music may think that their ability to make their songs sound fresh and modern is what makes them special. A fan of dance may think that it's their polished choreographies what really makes them special. And an R&B or jazz fan may think that their musical complexity and ability to interpret emotions on stage is what really makes them special. Whatever it is, Suga was right when he said that you like BTS music if you listen without prejudice.
Well, that was hella interesting. I always love videos like that. Seeing familiar bands and faces from my past, or that I even still listen to. A new group that I'm still diving into. All these details and information thrown around. It's so refreshing. But yeah, that's pretty much all for this one. Let me know down below where you come from. Did you start off like a metalhead? Were you into dance and then you got into, like what ties you to this group? That'd be cool to know. Obviously, I'm a metalhead. Some of that sort of hooked me as I was getting into them. That familiar sound or vibe.